Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Shiela Keaise, and I am an author. You know, being an author isn't something that happens overnight, but it can be very impactful overnight. As an author, I've created over 15 books, and all of these books are to encourage and invite children to open those books, to want to read, to want to learn, to want to grow. So, how do you come up with an idea for a children's book? My latest book is called Hannah and Dexter, the Litter Busters. And in this book, we show children the importance of not littering. We also tell them some of the facts about littering. Not all books are informative, but a lot of my books are very informative because I love to share information. Some books can be just fun. For example, The Napping House. It's fun to see the repetition and hear what happens to this child in the napping house. And then there is the cow buzz. We know that a cow doesn't buzz, but this author wanted to share a different aspect of what can happen when something goes wrong. Where do authors get these ideas? They get them by observing their world, by creating what they see. You know, I take a lot of mine from watching children at the library, in schools, in my family, and even in my community. There's so much to see. So I encourage you to look around your environment, to look in your world, and find a story. Girls, I'm so excited. My friend is here with us today, Miss Ember Estridge.
I am an art teacher here in the state of South Carolina, and Leon's Lines was written and created to help my students with a need in the classroom. And I felt that having a book to go along with that really would help in their learning. Mama, Why Did God Make Flies was written by one of my amazing coworkers who is also a teacher, and she's just fantastic. And hers is inspired by her daughter and her daughter's constant questions. So both of these books were inspired by questions of students and young learners.
What is the process to plan a children's book? So how do we plan this book? How does this process evolve? I can tell you one thing. It starts by writing it down. If you don't write it down, it will never happen. You know, when I first wrote Hannah and Dexter Go to the White House, I wanted to share some of the facts about the White House because our first African American president was in the White House at the time. In creating a story, you want to surround yourself with information about what you want to write about. Don't just decide, I want to write a book and not get information about it. And that's what you do in the process. You write down, first of all, what you want to say, who you want to write about, who do you want your characters to look like, what do you want to say, what do you want the characters to say. Once you plan it, I invite you to visit your local library or your school library. One thing that you could always find in a book is someone else's experience. And that's a good thing. One of my favorite authors, Margaret Reed McDonald, said, "The process of planning a book includes imagining a unique story, telling the story to a friend, tell your story to another friend, write it down, read it aloud to a friend, and listen to how it sounds, and rewrite any parts that don't flow happily off of your tongue." If you're wondering if Margaret Reed McDonald is her real name, is that your real name?
That was my maiden name. I was Margaret Reed before I married Mr. McDonald. So
I love that.
Of course, I became a librarian.
So what are the characteristics of a good children's book? Well, I can tell you, number one, it's how children feel after they read it. If your book makes a child feel good inside, then that is a good characteristic. Another thing that makes your book good is the storyline. Dr. Seuss is a great example. He is one of the most popular children's authors. His books are good because his storyline includes no-nonsense rhymes, they're repetitious, and they're fun for adults and children to read. Does it make sense? Is it happy? Is it sad? Whatever it is, make sure you follow it and make sure that your children are knowing exactly what you want to say. Every child can't meet you in person, but they can read your story, and you want them to feel exactly what you are saying. Another characteristic of a good children's book is clarity. You want your words to be clear. You don't want anyone to have to guess what you're trying to say. Here's another friend, Nadine Johnson. She's written a book called The Mystery Prank. Now, Bing is a bird-loving science nut who just wants to make it through the last 10 days of school. He also wouldn't mind being crowned Science Student of the Year on Awards Day. However, Chad and Braxton, the J Crew, are planning the ultimate prank to get Bing. Nadine Johnson uses clarity. Another book Nadine wrote was I Write Rhymes. Can you tell the boys and girls a little sneak peek into the gist of what Moses experienced as far as racism is concerned?
Oh, definitely. So, Moses, he's like any kid. He's going about his business, doing what he's doing. And then he gets put into the situation where he moves to a new school and he feels like his teacher is treating him a little bit different than all the other kids. And so he doesn't really know how to voice it, how to say it, but he knows the treatment is different.
Nadine allowed her character to write rhymes to express his feelings. Let the child know through the characters what you want said. I think if I were to give one more characteristic of a good children's book, it would be the illustrations. In the book that I co-wrote with Carolyn Burns, Meemaw and DC Go Biking, the illustrations tell the story. Piper McClellan, the illustrator, shows exactly what we wanted to convey in words. The illustrations are very important to build that connection with your words. So make sure you choose an illustrator that will convey what you want your words to say. Because sometimes children will look at the pictures, even if they don't understand the words. And after a while, they'll start understanding the words through the pictures. If you talk about something you love or that you're passionate about, your book will be good and it will be successful. Other people have different means of success. Here's what Ember has to say about success.
I think a good children's book is a book that you can go back to later and enjoy. I also think it's important to find books that are on different reading levels for different learners, while also causing them to step up just a little bit. And whenever you can have educational content in a book, it's just really cool. Kids love learning facts and coming back to you with, hey, did you know? It's just really fun.
Margaret Reed McDonald says, a fine children's book should be unique. It should surprise and delight the reader and listener. So make sure you do just that with your book. Make sure it is creative, it's funny, and or informs.
So Miss Shiela, she's amazing. She works at Colleton Memorial Library. She actually helped me with my first book, Leon's Lines. Being an author and illustrator has been a lifelong dream of mine, and she helped me achieve that. She walked me through every step of the process, she held my hand, and she really helped me through the entire journey. I could not have done it without her. And thanks to her helping me with Leon's Lines, we were able to also go through with Mama, Why Did God Make Flies? But thank you for listening to me talk about my books. I really appreciate it, and I hope you learned something.
Thank you, Ember. I didn't pay her. Take your time. Start writing. Start gleaning from your environment. Start creating your characters. Start building your children's book. And you will be a successful author. Well, I hope you enjoyed everybody and what they've said, and I hope you've gleaned, and I hope you create the best children's book that you can. And I want you to come by the library and make sure you share it with us. We want to make sure you have a book signing, because that's the next step after you become an author. Take care. See you later. When you get a chance, remember to go to YouTube and check out Ms. Literacy. Yes, we read stories, we sing songs, and we inform and entertain. Thanks for listening. Happy writing!